You're listening to the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. My name is Theo Capodistrius, and I'm going to talk to you about all things communication, public speaking, TEDx, and all the things in between. These are going to be short episodes, and hopefully you'll gain a lot out of it. Sit back and enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome to episode 4. That's right, we're at the 4th episode of season 1 of the Craft Messages That Matter podcast. As you heard moments ago, my name is Theo Capodistrius, and I help professionals and business owners to demonstrate their value through their voice and through their own words. And I do this through a range of presentations, workshops, and coaching programs. I also want to put out a heap of free content to help those who might be thinking about working with me, or maybe they just want to learn a bit more about the communication and public speaking space. And I have a heap of that on my social media, the CMTM podcast social media, and of course, anywhere you want to find me. So be sure to check it out. But I want to take us into today's episode. So I wanted to talk about the world of TEDx and to help demystify some of the perceptions that people have. People seem to have this preconceived idea of the whole TED and TEDx world. I mentioned it in the first episode, but if you don't know, I'm the Executive Director, Licensee, and Co-Curator of TEDx Hobart. I received hundreds of messages from professional speakers thinking that because they can speak well, that they deserve a space on the TEDx Hobart stage. The reality is, the majority of people who actually land a TEDx are not people who regularly speak to audiences. You'll get the occasional TEDx speaker who has presented countless times and is incredibly confident on stage, and that's awesome. But a lot of people get coaching. They work through coaching programs with the organisers and the speaking coaches who are part of the TEDx contingent. I know we have, a coaching program which we put our speakers through, and, we provide support with myself, Kate, our other speaking coach, and the other speaking team, coaching team. But the real question is, what does it take to make it to the TEDx stage? The answer is having an idea worth spreading. TEDx organisers and curators are tasked with searching for people locally who have an interest and a unique idea and an innovation that they can bring to the stage. The audience should be able to walk away from listening to the person speak about their new idea and are filled with that knowledge, rather than the identity of the person and their profession. When you apply to present at a TEDx event, there are 4 key things that the TEDx team will be looking for, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. So the first of those 4 things is that a new idea originates in the community but is widely relatable. Is the idea that you're putting forward something that could affect the local community, but something that the rest of the world can get around and understand? TEDx talks are filmed and often shared online, and there's some reasons why they might not, but generally they're going to be shared online onto YouTube and also TED's global platform. If a topic resonates and can be enjoyed by the wider audience, it may find its place on YouTube and for everyone else to see. Organisers will look for people locally, and I say that because if your event is TEDx of that city, you're gonna find people that are within that community who are going to present. TEDx events are licensed with a particular name of a city, a location, or a university, so it's important that the person who's applying actually has some sort of connection with that place. If they don't, and trust me, I had a number of people who were from other cities and other locations and other countries, their chances aren't going to be as high of making it to that TEDx event. particularly in a global pandemic. But that's another story. The second point we're going to look at is organisers will look out for ideas that need to be defended. It shouldn't be something that is really self-evident, but something where there may be, interesting perspectives of different arguments. I'm sure we can all agree that, love is an important thing and it's, really nice. But listening to someone talk about love for 18 minutes will probably kill me. What is it about the idea that could be different, that could bring a new perspective and a new point of view? Has some additional research been done? Has the speaker conducted their own survey? Is there something different they're going to bring to the stage about that particular idea? The third thing that organisers will look out for is an idea that the TED world may not have heard before. If you have an idea and you Google it and you can see that there is a TED talk already on this topic, a TEDx talk that is similar, perhaps that's not the idea to submit for your TED talk, your TEDx talk, I should say. Organisers will go to an effort to hear something unique and will search if there is something similar out there. I know I conducted a Google search pretty much every time someone put an idea forward, so I knew that the idea was unique and different and something that was part of this community. And the fourth thing is that organisers will look out for ideas that will change perceptions. Is there a concept that we already have an opinion about that a TEDx talk could change? Ideas don't have to be brand new, but flipping the idea about what we already think of something, take a new perspective, a new innovation, a new innovative perspective, could be what sets it apart from other ideas. So if you're interested in doing a TEDx talk or learning more about it, I'm in the process of creating an online course titled Make It to the TEDx Stage. It will guide you through the best way to create an application that will cut through the rest. There are a heap of relevant tips and things to consider. So please subscribe to my mailing list to keep updated on its development and when it'll be released. I'm gunning for winter 2022. So not far. A link will be contained in the show notes to my mailing list so you can keep updated with all things TEDx course related. Thanks again for joining today's episode. Please be sure to subscribe and follow, rate and review the podcast as it will help me greatly. I'd love it. Please be sure to follow on Instagram as well. You can find the Craft Messages That Matter podcast at CMTM_podcast and my personal Instagram page, TheoCap88. Thanks again for listening and we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time on Tuesday for the next episode.